Hey there, geniuses. It's Nick. It's day 2 of my new experiment. So, welcome to the 5 Minute Genius. And today I'd like to talk about willpower, where it really comes from, and why I recently made a complete switch in perspective and now think that thinking might actually be better than doing. Okay. So first, the willpower part. So a friend of mine, his name is Colin. He runs a very famous blog about willpower. It's called willpower.co. And he's been researching willpower for over 5 years now. And he's written about everything imaginable regarding willpower, which exercises you can do, which foods you should eat, what your routine should look like, which factors influence willpower, and recently he started going deeper into topics like addiction, education, willpower in school, willpower at kids, things like that. And one blog post he recently published came to a very, very shocking conclusion, namely that willpower comes mostly from your psyche. So the way he and most people, including myself, thought willpower works is if you exercise well regularly every day, if you sleep enough, if you eat the right foods, low glycemic stuff, lots of nuts, veggies, and those kinds of things, then you wake up in the morning and have an awesome willpower buffer, right? Your battery is fully charged. And then you have as much as you can to dispense over the day. But actually what he found was, it was a huge sort of meta study where they looked at all the studies that had been done on willpower before, and what they found was that all of these studies used so little samples, 5 people here, 10 people there, 15 people there, that actually none of them really had conclusive results about all of these biological effects of willpower, or these biological influence factors that influence willpower. Instead, what they found was that really sort of your motivation, your drive to do this thing that you're about to do, your passion, are a lot more conclusive to how much willpower you have. And you might have noticed this when, for example, it's really late at night, but you just can't stop working on something because it's so awesome. It's just a project you do for fun, or a great book you read, and you're really tired and it's been a long day, but you don't care. You just power through and you still sort of make stuff happen. And that's exactly what happens there. So, and basically this makes up sort of 90% of your willpower, and all of the biological stuff that people keep talking about all the time, it's just 10%. So unless you're motivated and passionate and you actually care about what you do, even having the best routine, sleep, diet, and exercise regimen won't help. So that's that. And given that, I recently started thinking that it might be a lot better to think a lot about what you do and what you're gonna do and what you're gonna focus on and spend your time on than actually doing it. I was always a big proponent of doing is always better than thinking, right? It's always better to do something, but that might not be the case, because then you end up doing what we talked about yesterday, sort of doing so many things, trying out everything, and not really getting anything done. But if you think really, really hard, and I'm doing this right now, I spend so much time thinking, I feel my brain is going up in smoke. If you think really, really hard about what is it that I want to do, what is this one project that I can latch on and cling to for the next 5 or 10 years, because I really, really care about this. I care about this more than anything. And if you pick really, really well, and you pick the perfect thing, then your willpower will take you, your passion, your motivation for it will probably take you through all these years, through the long dips, the droughts, the dry spells when nothing's working. And it'll probably take you where you need to go to make this thing successful, right? So that's why I've recently started thinking that, well, thinking might be better than doing, and that you should probably spend a lot more time doing the thinking up front rather than rushing into things and just getting started. So, and there's a great quote by Warren Buffett's famous business partner called Charlie Munger. He says this translates to investing, and he says it's the opposite. There's a quote called don't just stand there, do something, and he always says the opposite. Don't just do something, stand there. And I think that sums that up really well. So I hope you liked this video. If it made you think, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for hopefully more. We'll see how this goes during the week, next couple of days. And talk to you soon. Find your genius.